All right, let's also now get in the management of RPG Group. Mr. Venkatesh, the Group President, HR and Member Group Board, joining us to discuss really the future of work, how work from home, is it now becoming the new normal, and is it going to be a permanent shift? All that and more, coming up in our conversation with him. Mr. Venkatesh, good morning. Good to have you with us. Why the permanent shift to a work from home policy at the group level and across geographies? Are there certain advantages or efficiencies that you've seen from doing this over the last few months, or is it more because you anticipate that this will continue for a longer period of time?
I think it's really about giving opportunity for our people to work very, very differently from how they used to work. I think all of us know the huge advantages that accrue to an employee because of remote working. It's less commute, less exposure to pollution, more quality time with loved ones. So when we saw that this was working very well in the initial stages of the lockdown, we said, listen, why don't we extend this to our new way of working? So that was the germ of the idea. We put together a very young professionals task force, and they came out with a brilliant proposition. We thought they will come out with something for manufacturing or for IT services, but instead they pivoted it around the kind of work that you do. And therefore, it now gives us the opportunity to extend work from home, which was in a sense a privilege which only office staff and IT employees enjoyed, to even extend it to manufacturing, or even projects or plantations. And that's the kind of terrain that, literally and figuratively, that we have in RPG. So yes, to answer your question, it is going to be a completely different way of working. And I believe our early investments in digital technology helped us not miss a single physical record during these last 4 or 5 months. We believe that we are totally equipped to handle 50% of our employees not coming to work at any particular time, going up to maybe 100% in our sales offices. So as I keep saying, it's not all gloom and doom during COVID. This is one bright example of the kind of benefit that you can deliver to employees without spending a dime or a nickel. It's absolutely free. In fact, it's going to, as a corollary, deliver real estate savings to us, but that was not our primary intention.
Sure. What's the kind of feedback you've had from employees, Mr. Venkatesh? Because there are also some challenges, for instance, lack of clear boundaries, constant accessibilities, having employees kind of on call all the time. Or have you as an organization perhaps initiated some of the more progressive reforms, like, making sure that everyone has their breaks cut out, for example, that there are lights down beyond a particular time?
Yeah, I think on the feedback, people are delighted. They just can't believe that we are the first diversified conglomerate anywhere to implement work from anywhere. Particularly manufacturing employees are seeing this as a new wow experience that they can get to enjoy. We just need to ensure that whenever possible, if they're not literally running a machine, they should also be given the opportunity to be on work from home. And the other part of your question, yes, we did run into problems sometime about 2 months back. Things were blurring between work and home and personal time, and calls were slipping into late evenings and sometimes into weekends. So we just kind of stepped back, took stock, and we implemented some measures to kind of, provide some comfort to our people. For example, 1 to 2 is sacrosanct lunchtime. It's 0 hour for us, so that therefore there are no calls during that period. Since you're at home, you enjoy the company of your family to have a nice hot lunch. And then in the evenings, we are saying, please avoid Zoom calls or any kind of formal interaction beyond 7 p.m. and definitely nothing on weekends. So I think that has given a huge amount of relief to our people. And in between, we had a wellness day. We just said, listen, we've been working like crazy. So let's just take off on this Monday, so that, the Monday holiday hit the nail on the head and kind of, delivered a lot of lot of goodwill amongst our folks. So I think we'll have to watch out. We'll have to keep ensuring that we don't slip into the zone where we are not able to distinguish between, and it gets surreal sometimes, at 6:30, it's just that last mail that you want to send. It's that last call that you want to do, but we just have to rein ourselves in. And if we do it as leaders, I think that's setting an example to the entire organization.
Mr. Venkatesh, you're making all of us in the news business who have to be on call 24/7 a little envious of your own model. But moving on, just wanted to understand to the point that you were earlier making about cost benefits, and you specifically talked about rental costs, or for that matter, your land costs as well, or office space rentals actually coming down. Could you quantify what's been the cost saving now that you've opted for the work from home model for good?
This wasn't even on our mind, cost savings. And as we speak, we're still kind of working it out. We said, let's deliver a huge benefit to our employees rather than talk about savings. As we speak, our finance folks are still putting the numbers together. I think we will save costs, particularly when we open the satellite offices for sales or projects. Now, those are going to be real savings. We can literally double the headcount in IT. And you heard some other IT companies speak about that as well, saying that, listen, with the same real estate, we will have more people working and therefore greater revenues and billability. So it may not be savings right now, but it's actually an opportunity to kind of increase headcount, which is really the main thing in an IT services company. We have a company called Zensar in our group. So we've not really, I don't have, dollars and cents or rupees and paisa to show to you in terms of what we would have actually saved. But more than anything, it kind of it demolishes the myth. For example, in a sales or a zonal office, typically it's really meant only for the people who work in that office. Have you ever heard of any customer coming to a regional office or a zonal office to meet you? I mean, we go to the customer's locations. Now, those offices will be shut down, and people can actually work out of home and then visit the market or visit customer sites. So I would think that we will give up a lot of our lease space like this, and we will keep some of our lease space, particularly in IT, giving us an opportunity to increase headcount. So it's a mix of better utilization as well as forfeiting some real estate. But as we speak, the numbers are still getting crunched. And we are not even asking or pushing people to tell us, and we are not really breathing down their neck saying, listen, what's the savings that we are getting? Whatever we get is a bonus, honestly. And that's really, like I said, an outcome, a corollary rather than the main objective.
Good to hear that. But how is it that you actually increase productivity while working from home, Mr. Venkatesh? Because, working from home also comes with its own set of challenges too. Are you giving out allowances or incentives to your employees to enhance their productivity while working from home and maintaining that perfect balance between work and life?
We are doing a number of things. Of course, for people who will permanently work from home, and there are people like that. And we've hired also lots of people in IT in tier 3, tier 4, tier 5 towns who will never, ever come into one of our major hubs for IT services, which is Pune, Bangalore, or Hyderabad. So you could be sitting in Guntur, you could have passed out of an engineering college in Jaipur or Guntur, and start working from home. Now, for such people, we are providing them support in the form of broadband, cost reimbursements, and stuff like that. But there's a lot of softer stuff which is happening around the group. For example, we've tied up with an agency which is actually pretty big and pretty good in the area of providing mental wellness support. And we've offered this as a free service to our employees and their families. We recognize that this is a pretty difficult time and people are feeling completely boxed and sitting at home, no leisure, no opportunity to go for vacations. So that's something we are helping with. We have a chief fitness officer. That's another version of CFO for us in one of our companies, chief fitness officer, who's actually doing amazing stuff with our employees every day and kind of curating, exercise regimen, diet regimen for them, which works for them. There's a lot of learning and development which is happening virtually, of course, but which is focused on getting people to be more productive. How do you handle disagreements and dissent virtually? That's something which it's new to all of us. When do you actually interrupt, make your point of view, elegantly kind of put across your point of view? I'm saying a lot of this, if you don't address at the initial stage, adds to a lot of stress for people, because it's not like in the physical world where I can just walk across to my colleague saying, listen, buddy, I think, you and I shouldn't have actually acted like this, and let's sort this out over a glass of beer in the evening or a cup of coffee right now. So how do you provide that whole blanket of comfort, the softer training, the softer aspects of behavior, which helps them manage stress? I'm not saying that stress is going to go away completely, but it's going to be at least in a controllable range. So it's not just about providing some reimbursements for certain benefits or comforts at home, but we also think that we've got to support them pretty holistically, and that's what we are. And so far, the results have been good. People are appreciating what we are doing. And a lot of stuff that we thought is not possible in the whole learning and development domain virtually, we are actually able to do it pretty well in the last couple of months.
Thank you so much for taking the time out and sharing with us about your and RPG Group's work from home experience. Holding steady, 11,500 plus, good breath for the market as well. We're going to be taking a very short break, but come right back. Lots more lined up.